Welcome to the club, 'cause you're that kind of nerd.
Hello, and welcome to the club that is That Kind of Nerd. We are a show where we talk about the nerdy things that we're passionate about, but then we judge each other on what we bring to the table. I am your finest host this week, CJ Mellon, joined by two illustrious guests, Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up?
Hi.
You say we judge each other on what we bring to the table, but you're acting like we don't just judge each other.
Just in general. Just in general, yeah. But now we're just assigning number points to it. We've always silently done this.
Of one another.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. We're just now audibly saying, you know what? Now I'm gonna give you and put numbers to.
That's right.
I'm gonna quantify my judgment now.
That's right.
Since we have relaunched the best nerdy podcast on planet Earth and beyond. I'm gone that far now because we got a really cool telescope that sees beyond, and I know we are the best nerdy podcast out there. We have a new show format, and at the end of every topic, I, your wonderful judge, will be judging the conversation and awarding points and judgment on my co-host, and then the winner at the end of this show will be the host the next episode. So with that, I know we've got a couple things that we want to cover, but we were having a pre-show talk. Brian got nice and heated, so you know what? With that passion, I will turn it over to Mr. Brian Thornton and go with our first topic, sir. So the floor is yours.
Hey, before we go into our first topic, I have something that I saw this week that I extrapolated and thought about, and then I just need to get this off my chest as well. I was watching YouTube, and YouTube, you watch more than 5 minutes of a video, an ad pops up, and it's just like, here's your ad, and then you watch that ad, and or you try to skip the ad. It depends on what the ad. For me, if it's a movie trailer, I'm gonna watch the ad, and so I'm watching a YouTube video, and an ad pops up, and I see Idris Elba, and I'm like, ooh, Idris, all right, I see you, Idris. And have you guys seen the trailer for this new movie coming out called Beast?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Idris Elba.
Right.
And from what I could tell, and it's also Charlton Copley.
Yeah, Charlton Copley. Yeah, that's right.
Good actor.
And from what I can tell from the trailer, he is a doctor man with going to Africa with his family. He's staying with a friend played by Charlton Copley. They run across a lion like they've never seen. It's Jaws, but with a lion, right? Just like Jaws, we were like, sharks don't behave like this. This is really abnormal. And like, the lion, right? And so it's Idris. He's got like his two daughters with him. One of them's injured. He is trying to make it out of the wilderness whilst fighting this lion. And I said, why isn't this called Kraven the Hunter? This should just be Kraven the Hunter. Am I wrong? Are you going to sit there and tell me I'm wrong?
No. Although, I also saw the trailer. I saw the trailer before Nope last week. And I thought, this is Sharknado. It's Lion-nado.
Oh.
It's Safari-nado.
That's
is what it is.
Does it feel
fine.
that chintzy? Does it feel
No,
that?
it's crap. It's
it
total
feels
crap.
like you ever see Ghost in the Darkness with Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer? That's a fun movie, and that's what it feels like.
It's snakes on a plane in a jungle.
That's okay. If you're gonna make a Kraven the Hunter film, that's what it should be.
No, it shouldn't be that campy.
I really hope not.
It should be cooler.
Listen, we shouldn't be making this movie to begin with.
Cuckoo. 5 points for Maxwell showing up.
I am just saying. I don't understand why we have a completely fine premise that would have worked, i.e., I'm trapped in the wilderness and I have to fight this tiger or this lion. How cool would it be? Because then at the end of the film, this lion that he kills is his vest. He turns it into his vest, right?
Listen,
And then we have Black Widow. How did we get the vest? It's the exact same premise.
I got thinking even further and said, man, Idris Elba would make a much better Kraven the Hunter than Aaron Taylor Johnson. Why are we doing that thing?
Right.
And then I got angry. And I needed to express my anger to you all. And that's all.
This all makes sense to me. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, not that the movie Beast should just be titled Kraven the Hunter, but that instead it should be Kraven the Hunter.
Right. But
not
like
Sharknado.
Let's not make Sharknado. Let's just make Kraven the Hunter and use this as the premise.
Well, this is my point, though. My point is like just this concept of guy being trapped in the wilderness, man versus beast type of idea.
Like the Gray.
You can do that. Have it be Kraven. Like the gray, like something like that, right? Like, I don't understand. And like, I'm trying really hard to.
Well, here's your problem. You're trying to
no.
understand Sony, and you can't do that. So, you save your breath. Save your energy. Save those brain cells from rubbing against each other. That friction doesn't need it. What is your main topic today, good sir?
I promised this last week, so I figured I should pay up, and I thought we should spend just some time talking about San Diego Comic-Con. So I sent both you gentlemen a link because there was a lot that was announced. There was a lot that was dropped. Pretty much everybody, had a huge weekend except for Warner Brothers. Not joking. All Warner Brothers did was, hey, here's The Rock in his Black Adam costume. Hey, remember that movie we've been talking about for 4 years and we've seen The Rock in his Black Adam costume? Here's him. Oh, and also Shazam. Like, that's all we got. But I wanted to get your gentlemen's thoughts on, what are you most excited for that got dropped? What are you chomping at the bit for, whether it's coming out in 3 months or whether it's happening in 2 years? What kind of piqued your interest overall in the Comic-Con news or that link I sent you guys?
Yeah, since I'm not getting points, I don't want to take away any good topics that can earn you some points. So, Josh, I'll let you go first.
I think. All right, so I'm excited about a couple different things. The National Treasure series.
Yeah,
I'm very excited about. I really, really, really love that franchise. So excited for that. I'm very excited about I Am Groot. I imagine that Vin Diesel just is talking. What he's doing is imagining different types of family and then saying I am Groot. And that's really the inspiration for the whole vocabulistics that he's got going on there.
7 points for I Am Groot.
And from the movie, like the movie angle, the Marvel projects, we're just going into like, what do they introduce Phase 5 as? Like the multiverse phase. What did they call it?
Just the multiverse saga. You got it.
Yeah, multiverse saga, and then Phase 6 will end with Secret Wars, which I think is awesome. And I'll say I like it because there are so many possibilities. Knowing that this is all going to be about multiverse and it's going to end in Secret Wars. There's a ton of I don't know. I mean, I know Brian knows all about Secret Wars. I have done quite a bit of research into Secret Wars because I'm in 2 Secret Wars variant fantasy football leagues. So,
wait, what?
They're incredibly complex, and you can like changing divisions, and I don't even want to get into it, but you get like a character boost. It's very strange.
Seems very complicated.
Oh, it's incredibly complex. And I love it. Right. So anyway, the Christian's comment was, you're going to screw up Secret Wars. And I went, I don't think so, man.
Does Christian even understand the original Secret Wars? Here's nothing against your son.
No, I know. He's 14 and has opinions.
Does he though?
What I said was, listen, I think there's not enough characters. I said, you're disregarding all the characters they introduced through the series.
The Disney Plus, yep.
All the Disney Plus series. You're disregarding all the possibilities with multiverse, and you're disregarding the 3 years between now and then.
Yep.
So, just look at all the characters they've introduced through Disney Plus in the past year. That's pretty amazing. Then, right, like Brian did some extrapolation earlier, extrapolate that out over the next 3 years and the multiverse, and you could end up with, the most expensive movie ever made, just so that they can make another couple $2 billion. And I think it's it could be an incredibly expensive movie, but it'll make $1 trillion.
And it's if I remember correctly, it's another 2-part movie, right? It's almost like the Infinity War Endgame thing.
Well, let's hope so.
So I'm excited for that part.
Yeah. I figure I was gonna take the easy way out with Secret Wars, so I wanted to give you National Treasure and I'm Groot as well.
I love me some National Treasure. I have to off the top, and Brian, this is for you. I'm awarding you 10 points for being completely right about Daredevil and not being as smug as I expected you to be about being right.
I was holding it back.
I feel like I'm getting like
you just got 7 points for I Am Groot.
You know, I get that, but Brian was right at your expense, but I'm the one suffering for it. You see how that's working now?
You're going to be okay.
Anything wrong with this? It works out perfectly in my estimation.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this at all. No problem whatsoever. But Josh, now he can never bring it up and be all smug about it. I just awarded him the points. It's dead for me.
I've given you points. It's over.
Right.
I'm just sitting over here, but you know what? And let's talk about that real quick. Because listen, I'm not going to be like, oh, I was right. I was right. We talked about this on the show back when Netflix was losing those characters, and I was like, oh, they'll throw on a moniker, a subtitle. I said Man Without Fear. They went with Born Again, and we'll get these characters back. I also said Hulu. They're putting it on Disney Plus, which impresses me because I'm interested to see how mature this version of Daredevil is going to be. But then again, we've had the Netflix Daredevil on Disney Plus for several months now. Yeah, so maybe we keep it.
Deadpool 1 and 2 is now on Disney Plus. So like,
yeah, right. So they're Logan, not, if I recall correctly.
Right. And Logan, you're right. So they're not above putting that stuff on there.
Totally was surprised by that move. But I'm also very surprised by this is going to be, it's going to be 18 episodes. That's longer than any season of the Netflix show.
It's 2 seasons.
It's 2 seasons or it's 3 seasons for any Disney Plus show, right? Because they've been averaging about 6 episodes. So I'm very interested in what is the idea? This isn't just any normal show, right? This has got to be like we're launching a couple things through here. I would not be surprised if you see more of those Netflix characters show up in this series, just so they can make an easier transition. We already know Daredevil is showing up in She-Hulk.
Right.
So, and that was, a great trailer to see this past weekend as well. So I'm interested,
there's no reason we don't get all the Defenders in there though. Plus the Punisher.
Right. Also, well, I already, and I wasn't going to screenshot this because I've only seen it once, but I did see an article saying we're talking to John Bernthal about bringing back the Punisher.
No reason not to.
Which would be great. So I'm viewing this as here's much like Daredevil was supposed to be the anchor on Netflix. I think they're going to use him as the anchor, and we're just going to bring in a whole slew of things via 18 episodes, and that's why it's 18 episodes long.
Are we talking about are you forecasting essentially 18 episodes but 6 at a time with 3 months in between each?
No. I'm forecasting 1 a week for 18 weeks, which would be
what 4
months?
A lot.
That's a lot. No, I think they're going to break this up.
Yeah, that's a quarter and more than a third.
And the other part too is, and I don't know the release cycle. I have to look it up from the panel. The panel thing. What else is there? Anything coming out in that 18 week? That's a big span of.
It's 4 months in 1 week. It's a lot.
Oh, actually no. Spring 2024, right? Daredevil, Born Again, and the next thing on the list is Captain America: New World Order on May 3rd. So yeah, there's nothing else coming out in between Daredevil and all of that. So okay, maybe it could be it. I think the biggest thing that I got from the Marvel side of things, right, and just the one that got me really excited was watching the panel and the clips of the Black Panther cast come out, the live performance that they had, and then that moment where they kind of huddle together and kind of give each other an embrace, and everyone's very emotional, not only about this trailer but just about the fact that hey, we're moving on to Wakanda Forever without Chadwick, and it's built into the movie in a beautiful way. And the way that they handled that, I thought was really cool. And then they show the trailer, and the trailer looks awesome. Yeah, we're gonna be sad, but we have to move forward, right? The world is gonna have to continue to spin. Things are happening, and we have to address them. So it's not going to be a whole movie of just sad, right? We're going to get you to some action. We're going to get you to what's going on, and we're going to get you a Black Panther at the end of the day. And that looks phenomenal.
I definitely think, as crappy as this is, right, and as crappy as it is not having Chadwick, that they are going to use this in terms of the story. Like, I think they're going to obviously open with his funeral, right? But I think the idea that the whole reason Atlantis is even going to come up and attack to begin with is because, well, hey, T'Challa's gone.
Yeah.
So let's go. Very, very impressed with that trailer, and very interested in how that goes. And introduction of Riri Williams, which you caught a very quick glimpse of in the trailer, is very exciting. Like, Marvel absolutely won the day, just completely.
And I was expecting, hey, show me Phase 5. I was not expecting the Phase 6.
Show me Phase 6, yeah.
And Feige's just like, and look at this. We're just not going to stop, man. You're going to have Marvel content forever.
I think part of that is you have all these people online like, oh, this Phase 4 sucks. Yeah. I don't know where this is going.
That's me.
I know it is.
You're talking about me.
No offense, Josh, but this is Feige saying, okay, fine. If you need an explanation, here's the explanation.
You want the roadmap?
Josh,
here's your roadmap.
We never had an explanation for Phase 1.
Yep.
Like, I didn't need it. Now I need it
for now.
And that's the thing. People need to temper their expectations.
You need it because the bar was set where the bar was set.
Star Wars all over.
It was set super high, and then you come in with the super low.
No. We come in with what we normally do. In Feige, we trust.
Right.
And there's a plan.
More importantly, we came in. Here's the thing. We came into Phase 4 the same way we came into Phase 1. Hey, listen. Here's a bunch of characters you know nothing about. Let's introduce them. Here's some characters you have no backstory on. Let's give you that backstory.
Nope. That's not how we came into Phase 1.
How did we not come into Phase 4 that way?
Really? How many people do you know who knew Iron Man before 2008, Josh?
Dude,
because the answer is
Phase
none.
Because it didn't exist back. Like,
right.
But that's my point.
Plan.
But that's my point.
No,
my point
we know there's a plan now. I want to know what the fucking plan is.
No, this was a reset. Endgame was a hard reset. And people, including you, Josh, I love you to death, but like, we didn't realize that. We didn't realize that going to Phase 4, hard reset, every single major character is either dead or moved on.
I knew that. We all knew that.
So we need a new, then it's a blank slate. So why do you need to know where it's going?
Because
you don't know.
Because I need to know. That's why.
Right. Well, that's it. But that's it. Because you need to know, not because that this is something that we have to have. It's a want. I want to know is what you're really saying. I want to know where we're going, and not I know where we're going. We all figured out once we realized that they were making more than one Marvel movie, right? In Phase 1, once Thor came out, really Thor was the one where they came out and you knew Avengers was actually going to happen because Hawkeye showed up in there, right? We had Coulson doing his thing, and then we had Thor, and you're like, oh yeah, at this point, it's inevitable that we're getting the Avengers, right? It's inevitable at this point. We may have seen Black Widow and Iron Man 2, but now that we've got Thor, Hulk is kind of doing its own hulky thing, right? Great. Do you know when that flip switch when Feige took over on Iron Man 2 and was the sole producer? In Feige, we trust. It's fine. You don't need the roadmap. Just sit down and watch the content and enjoy yourself.
Anyway, I don't want to turn this into a pile on Josh session because it's not just Josh, right?
Sounds good though.
Listen. Two Brian points to Josh just for being able to take all this.
I'll allow it.
But it's not just Josh. It's all the little TikTokers who think they know something. It's all the people on the Twitters and the Facebook who think they know something about this. And this, to CJ's point, this is, excuse me, I'm trying to make a point here. To CJ's point, it is a part of a bigger problem, quite frankly, which has been in Star Wars forever, which is you're not doing things the way I want them done.
Yep.
So now I'm going to be mad. And Josh, I'm not saying that's you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's most of the population.
I need to clarify that I'm not saying that this isn't going to happen or isn't currently happening the way I want it to. What I am saying is And I think I've been documented both here and other places saying it's going to be fine, right? I just I need to know when. I need to know when it's going to start going that way, right? I understand. I know it's going to be fine. Every time Christian brings it up, I tell him it's going to be fine. It's going to be amazing, probably. But, which way is it going to go? I don't know. And look, I have a 14, almost 15-year-old that loves to theorize, and I don't. When it comes to this stuff, I don't like to think because I'm not going to be right.
Tell him to call me. I'll put him in his place. Give him my phone number.
And he's just I made with the theories, and I can't. What it's the same. I can't even go on social media with I can't with the theories.
This is literally why, right? When Star Wars came out, right when we were getting the sequels, I said, fuck all your goddamn theories because you're ruining the movie when you go to watch it, that it didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. And now everyone for Phase 4, same thing, right? You got you got mutation and mutants introduced in Miss Marvel. Who the fuck had that on their bingo card for Miss Marvel? Nobody had that. So there's a plan.
And my only thing is this. My point is, going back to Comic-Con, I understand why they said, hey, here's Phase 5 and Phase 6. A, not set in stone. Things are going to change. B, I feel like this need to cater to those people is what hurts Star Wars, and I don't want it to see hurt Marvel. And as it is, I'm kind of, I don't want to say robbed, but I enjoy getting excited for the next year out, right? Prior to this, it was we're in Phase 2, here's Phase 3, right? We're in Phase 3, here's going to be Phase 4. And that was enough. And for me to be, and I love theorizing. Josh, I think you know how much I love theorizing about what this is going to be, right? I'm never right, or I'm, with the exception of Daredevil, I'm very rarely right, but I'm always pleased. And what I see happening and the dangers that I'm seeing right now and the fact that we had to cater to those people and say, my newborn cries less than these people. And
now it's staying in. He's in.
Yeah. Yeah. See that? I just referenced you. And the moment we start catering to these people is the moment they feel like, oh, I can speak up and shit will happen. And so we'll get all of this horrible fan discourse that we have in Star Wars right now. Whereas listen, I enjoy theorizing like anybody else, but honestly, I'm along for the ride. I will enjoy it. 9 times out of 10, I enjoy it. Do I have things that, hey, was Black Widow everything I wanted it to be? No. Was it good? Yeah. Was Eternals what I expected it to be? Hell no. Was it the worst Marvel movie? Yeah. Have I seen worse movies? Yeah. Just appreciate what you're getting, because you know what, Josh? And I'm not talking to you specifically, Josh, but you and I both know fucking 30 years ago, this was not even a glimmer in anyone's eye. The idea of something like this happening was never going to happen. The idea when Spider-Man came out in 2002, we thought, this is it. This is as good as it gets. This is all we're going to get. This is amazing what they've been able to do. Just fucking enjoy it. Share your critiques, but wait until there's a full picture in place before you start bitching and moaning and saying, oh, Marvel's jumped the shark. Oh, this needs to end. We need to do something differently. And I get it. Phase 4 didn't light anybody on fire. But you know what? I really enjoyed Shang-Chi. Was it Iron Man level? No. But it was good. I highly enjoyed it. I enjoyed Black Widow. I
love Miss Marvel.
I loved Miss Marvel. I loved No Way Home. I was a little disappointed by Multiverse of Madness, but you know what? It was still good. I still enjoyed myself. I've enjoyed all of the Disney Plus shows so far. And if that is all I need from these films, and sometimes saturating it with here's what's coming next robs me of what I'm watching at that point. It doesn't allow me to enjoy the thing I just got. It's making me think of, oh, well, what happens next? And there's a balance that I think Marvel is doing very well, but the fans are pissed off about it because they've been so used to in Phase 3, because we were ramping up to Endgame and it was all connecting finally. They've completely forgotten that Phase 1 and 2 didn't connect in the fucking slightest to what happened in Infinity War. Not at all. You know what you got? You got a full, complete movie, and then you got a stinger in the middle of the credits that led you to what was going to happen next. That was it.
The thing that I want to wrap up the Marvel stuff and
yeah, I'm sorry. And I didn't get a chance to talk about what I like. I'm just sitting here bitching about the fact that we got 2 years worth of projects in front of us. But
Marvel has done something that I don't think a doctor or anyone else has. I need to keep taking good care of myself, so that way I can get to all these movies, because now I know they're coming. So I got to make sure I don't get hit by a car, right? I gotta eat better and exercise. I gotta be in shape, right? Like, Marvel's keeping me going with a goalpost of keeping that stuff going, so that way you can be 80 and watching, the brand new Spider-Man 2099 spinoff where they're going in about the symbiote. I'm like, yeah, give me that shit.
Speaking of which, Spider-Man freshman year, I'm excited for that. The animated show that takes place in the MCU canon. And the other thing is, and what I will say is, as far as Marvel goes, if they announced all of this at San Diego, D23 is coming up.
Yeah, who knows what
are they going to drop in D23? Because they have to have something to talk about.
The final thing for San Diego, right? And I want to switch back to our good friends over at Warner Brothers. You freaking spineless, stupid suits who don't know how to do anything. Can you just confirm if Henry Cavill is Superman again? Yes or no? It's all we fucking need. If you would have done that, that would have been it. You guys would have been a good fucking show. But no, you won't confirm it.
But you know what?
Someone asked Zachary Levi about it.
But you know what? Based on what happened a couple weeks ago, I'm holding out hope, because they had to come forward and say that Ben Affleck is going to be in Aquaman 2. Right, Batman.
By accident.
Accident, because we were giving a studio tour, and Ben Affleck and Jason Momoa walk out of the soundstage together, and the bus is right there, and they're like, "Oh shit, cat's out of the bag now." To which I say,
Aquaman.
Once again, Warner Brothers, what the fuck are you doing? Do you not why wouldn't you make that a closed set? Why would you let a tour buses be driving by if you wanted to keep Ben Affleck a secret, which they did? They were very clear that they wanted to keep him a secret.
Nothing about
what the hell?
Nothing about the Batman. Nothing about Batgirl. Nothing about Static Shock.
Too early
to Flash.
Too early for the Batman.
Okay, hold on. If you're gonna give me The Rock in the suit 4 years ago, you can give me anything about the Batman.
Right, but you know what? They actually had freaking footage. It's too early to say anything about the Batman 2. It's not too early to say anything about Batgirl. The only reason I think they're holding back is because Michael Keaton's Batman is supposed to be in it. And he's supposed to make his debut in Flash. And because everything that's going on with Ezra Miller is impeding the Flash, well, now what are we going to do about Batgirl?
Just sitting there going, I don't know what to do about this. So, Josh, I'll give you the final word. San Diego Comic-Con and the announcements that we saw. Any final thoughts or feelings?
No, it's always a great show, man. I have DC screwed the pooch again. Awesome job.
All right, well then, Mr.
Classic
Burns.
DC.
Mr. Burns, I will now turn it over to you for your topic for this week.
Well,
yes.
I get no points for my rants or rages. I only get the points for being right, which, listen, I appreciate that. I always appreciate points for the right points.
Give him points, CJ.
I'm just saying, CJ, you normally give points at the end of the topics. Are you not giving any points?
That is how you introduce the whole show. Is it after
the end of every topic? I'll do it. Okay, yeah. All right. So
I'm the one who jumps in.
So 5 points for a spirited topic.
Right, excellent.
-3 for rambling too much.
Okay, good. I accept that. Yeah.
And then I award Josh, as you did. You gave him 2 points. I'm going to give him a 6 points for taking it like a man when we were complaining about him theorizing about the story.
I made it very clear I wasn't complaining about him, but okay.
CJ was.
I was. Yeah, I went right after what you did.
Josh, I still love you. I still respect your opinions, even though they're wrong.
Right back at you.
All right. Give your son my phone number anytime if he wants to try and talk. But
I know.
He does not know anything about Secret Wars, but I'll educate him. It's okay.
I feel like you've got bigger priorities right now than dealing with my kid. I can put him at arm's length.
Well, if you have a question, you feel free to text me, and I'll give
Appreciate that.
I'll give you some sources to look at.
Yeah. So I was flipping through Flipboard,
Flipbook,
right?
Flippy, as you do.
Flipper?
I don't think it is Flipbook. I think Flipbook is the animate.
It's
the thing that
Flipboard.
animates.
It's Flipboard.
Is it?
Flipboard is a news
Whatever.
aggregate app. Yes.
Yeah. So and it's fun to flip through. So I use that.
They have a board. Flippy.
I use that right for when I need to get a news board flip.
Whenever you need to flip some boards,
that's right.
You go there. I've had the need to flip some boards several times.
2 points to Josh for flipboard.
Anytime I need to flip on it, I flip the board. So as I was flipping through, I saw an article that was like, oh, these are the possibilities for a new 007. And I thought, first, whatever you say is going to be wrong. Next,
especially where did the article come from?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. They put together a list
BlueWaffle.com.
of people. That's right. They put together a list of people that would be good as 007, and I thought that's a mistake. And also, they already identified a 007 in the last movie there.
Yes.
If they decide to keep it that way, yeah.
If they do, and then I thought, let's not get tied up in the 00 number, but what we know that the world needs a new James Bond. And that James Bond doesn't necessarily have to be 007. He could be whatever, but we need a new James Bond.
He could be James Bond, tax accountant.
That's right.
He goes in MI6 and prepares their financial spreadsheets.
I thought we already have this with Ben Affleck.
He finds their maximum deductions.
Exactly.
You file a 007 with him, right? It's a form.
But what I thought is why don't we, Brian, since it's been quite some time since we did it, why don't we cast a new series, a new Bond series? Here's how it's going to work. I'm envisioning 3 movies. It could be, I guess, as many or as few as you like. But I set the parameters around. I'm envisioning 3 movies. So we need to cast the following. We know we need Bond. We need M. We need Q, we need Felix, the CIA counterpart, and we need Moneypenny. Now, I took these from basically all the Bond movies. These are the 5 characters you always get. Right? Like almost every Bond movie has these 5. And going all the way back. Bond. This was a thing. So, those 5, and then obviously we need a love interest. And you can choose up to 3, right? 3 movies. If you wish, you can repeat. We need a villain. You can choose up to 3. We know that sometimes they repeat. Fine. So those are the rules. CJ, you can decide how you want to do it. My suggestion is you call out a character at a time and then award any number of points you like. For each of our selections, or no points or negative points. You figure out the points.
We'll figure out the point part here. We'll do that. I am going to instantly, though, award you 10 points for bringing back Cast This in a different way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then
I'm excited. I've been thinking about it for the past 10 minutes. And your whole intro, I was thinking about it. Let's do this.
All right. I am not very good at this game, right? We're very clear. This has never
Which is good why you're hosting.
Never been my bag,
yeah.
right? So it's exactly why I'm glad I'm hosting. I can't lose any points for this. So I can go first to be the sacrificial lamb to slaughter so you guys can give the right answers for it. Would you like to start with Mr. James Bond himself, or are we going to save Bond for the end?
You're the one calling first.
You are the host. This is your show.
It's Josh's topic. I don't want to just...
You do the voodoo that you do, baby boo.
2 points for that gibberish. All right. My Bond pick is going to be Richard Madden. If you don't know that, he is from Robb Stark from Game of Thrones, but more importantly, the thing that informed this was his role in the Bodyguard series.
Really?
Yes, I enjoyed the Bodyguard series. I actually thought that was really nice, and nice to see him do some modern action, right? It's got some government stuff involved. It's not perfect. It's not 1-to-1, but it's just nice to see him kind of handle a gun, and I really enjoyed that series. He's done a lot of good stuff, so I picked Richard Madden as my 007 Bond. Or just Bond.
DJ, who's going next?
I will go with you, Brian. Who is your James Bond?
Cool. So let me walk you through my thought process here. All right. I think I've been on record saying that I think Idris Elba would make a great Bond, but I also think right now at this time he's approaching a little bit too old.
Yep, that's right.
10 years ago would have been Elba. Now
my thought process
probably not so much, right? So I was thinking of younger actors, but I kind of want to keep the grittier Bond. I like Daniel Craig's take on it. And, I think Daniel Craig just didn't get some great films.
Christ, is he going to say the same guy I have here?
I don't know. I think Tom Hardy would be a good
Tom
Bond.
Hardy. My pick for Bond.
Well, if that's the case, then
Tom Hardy is 44 and can play 38 no problem,
Yep.
and 38 is where Daniel Craig started Casino Royale. I had the exact same thought process.
There we go. Perfect.
So since you both picked the same, you both get the same amount of points, which is 5 points for picking the exact same person. So it's a null and void, as it should be.
I'm glad we don't have to argue at this point. I'm very happy.
No.
We don't have to
I
sit
think
here
it's
and
the
argue.
perfect Bond.
I had him
They
down
could be
for a
really
villain initially. I had Tom Hardy down for a villain, but changed my mind.
Interesting, but I think I have some better thoughts on villains.
Me too. We've seen him enough. All right, so James Bond. So on the official TCon Bond cast list, we're going to have Tom Hardy as our
it's
James
official.
Bond. Okay. All right.
Where are we going next?
We're going to go to our villains because now that we've got our double, we got our lead man. We need to know who he's fighting. Josh, the way that you set it up, you were envisioning 3 movies, right?
Yes.
So you can either have 3 separate villains or a recurring villain.
I do have 3 separate.
Okay.
I too have 3 separate villains.
All right, Josh, I'll let you go first. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me go first so I can get my terrible picks out of the way.
Just can we do them one movie at a time, please?
Sure. All right, my first pick is Michael Shannon. Who is he playing? Who's the villain? I don't fucking know. I don't know. James Bond that well. Well, Michael
doesn't
we're
matter.
not asking you to write the movie. Okay. I feel like it's been a while since we had a female Bond villain. So I picked Kate Beckinsale for my female Bond villain.
That's a solid pick. I went with Riz Ahmed for the first movie.
I like Riz. Like Riz Ahmed a lot.
He's intense looking. He's intense.
Yes. Well, I think you'll like my second pick, but I'm going to let CJ go with his crappy pick first.
All right, so we've got Kate Beckinsale or Riz Ahmed. I'm going to give this to Riz. Give it to Mr. Ahmed there. Which
he's giving point. Okay.
Hold on.
Do you want to wait till all 3 are done, or are you going to give us points based on each villain?
I'm fine either way. Actually, I like Brian's suggestion.
Cool.
Of Kate Beckinsale?
No,
of Riz Ahmed.
Waiting until you see the whole
Wait
villain.
until I see the whole thing.
Right.
Okay, cool. All right, but Riz Ahmed was whose pick? I'm sorry.
Josh's.
Josh's. Okay, cool. My first love interest, who unfortunately will be dead at the end of this movie, is Margot Robbie. She gets to go in one James Bond, and then she's out.
Okay. Bringing the Barbie vibes. I see that. I see you.
She's Australian. She can, pass for the English thing. You get all in.
Listen, that's fine. That's fine. My pick is because I love this character so much in No Time to Die, and she did not get enough screen time. I want Ana de Armas's character back from No Time to Die as his partner / love interest. And yes, she probably would have to die, or she probably would have to get sent away because she worked for another agency. But I thought the 10 minutes of No Time to Die she was in was probably some of the best 10 minutes of that film, of that almost 3-hour film. I want to see more of her character.
So same character with a different Bond?
Yeah. I'm operating under the mode. First off, we've had that happen before.
It's happened before. Yes, it has.
Secondly, I mean, if you want to keep spoilers for No Time to Die, Daniel Craig dies at the end.
What? But there was no time for that.
This is pretty much, I know, right? but somehow he did it in 3 hours. So it seems like he had plenty of time. But this version of Bond that started with Daniel Craig seems like they are going into the route of, if we have another James Bond, not the same dude, it is that the theory that James Bond is a code name that we pass along to agents, that would have to be what we do here.
I thought it was
the 00 number is assigned, but so is Bond.
So is the name of Bond.
I didn't know the name.
If you recall, I mean, I have to watch it again. Do they ever give her non-code name in the film, the new 007?
Not that I recall.
No. So for all we know, she could have been Jamie Bond or whatever they wanted to do,
Sure.
So again, we're going to have Tom Hardy as James Bond. And how much of a fun little scene would that be when he goes, "Hey, I'm James Bond." And she goes, "No, you're not. I met James Bond in the last film. What happened?" Like, that'd be a fun little moment, especially with Ana de Armas. And I think she's a wonderful actress.
All right. Joshua?
The love interest repeats for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's Elizabeth Olsen. She's going to be the love interest for 2 movies. She's going to die at the end of the second one.
Elizabeth Olsen, new character, or Ana de Armas? I'm on the fence about this one.
a you problem.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That is correct. That is indeed a fact. So that's why I'm thinking it over. I will bump on Ana de Armas only just because it's, oh, you're not James Bond, but I must sleep with you now that I know that you have stolen my ex-lover's name and moniker and everything else.
Did you see the last film?
Lovers.
They weren't lovers.
Oh, I did not see the last
lovers.
movie. No, I did not see the last movie. Well, then I don't have the bump on that, which is great. Again, I'm not good at this, so yay.
To give you the 411, Ana de Armas' character was from another agency helping Bond on a specific mission because he wasn't officially sanctioned as MI6 yet. She's brand new. She's a brand new spy, so she's got that fun, like, oh, I'm so excited to be here kind of mentality.
This is the concept I was picking for my next love interest, so I drive with that. Therefore, all right, Brian, you'll get Ana de Armas as the love interest.
Huzzah! I just had to explain the movie from last time, so we're good.
That's what happens. Okay. Which takes us at this point, I think we should move on to M.
All right,
yep.
Go ahead,
looking.
CJ.
So this I went.
Oh, you're building it right now as you're going.
I know. So I'm going for M, and this one I struggle with for a bit because I want someone who has some seriousness, has some gravitas, but someone who can bring something new to the role. But it still needs to be a British actress. Like that's just in my brain. That's just how it needs to be. So I went with Marianne Jean-Baptiste. I know her from Broadchurch. She was the defending lawyer for the murder in that show, and she was formidable, but also like tortured a little bit. And I loved the range that she showed, so I went with Marianne Jean-Baptiste.
She's in a ton of stuff.
She's in a lot of things. I think she even got an Oscar nomination back in like the 90s or something for a role. But I saw her in Broadchurch. I was thinking Broadchurch for a bit, just with some British actors and actresses, and that's where I landed.
Okay. Yeah, she's great. Been in a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it's not the right pick, but
again, this is why I don't get any points, and it doesn't go on the list. You get Mike when you pick first.
I don't necessarily agree with that pick either, but I'm just gonna say this right now. I am a selfish casting director.
Me too.
And if I can't get Idris Elba as Bond, then he's gonna be my M.
He's my M.
No
Idris Elba's my M.
Really?
Because I couldn't have him as Bond. He's my M.
You
Perfect,
too.
Josh.
The Bernsteins
lot less
are back
argument than I thought there would be on this.
There was not a single, like, no question in my mind. Had Daniel Craig not died at the end, he'd have been M. He would have died in the first movie, and Elba would have taken over in the second movie.
There you go.
Additional same-seas 5 points for your M cast.
Mm-hmm. If Q is the same, I'm going to.
It's probably
leave.
not.
I'm going to put.
Okay.
I'm going to put down my headphones. And
So here's
probably
the
not,
Ron
but-
pick. Hope everyone's ready for the Ron pick, which is Freddie Highmore.
That is the wrong pick. You are absolutely correct.
yeah, very much the wrong pick.
Good job for not choosing wisely.
Again, I know who I am. Go ahead. Who is the right pick for Q?
Listen, I don't know if this is the right pick, but this is someone I think Q's got to be fun. Those scenes are always like the comedic parts. And I think you need someone who's going to be energetic, but also can talk the science stuff. And I picked Simon Pegg.
He's a little older. I thought about him. He's a little older than I thought. I went with Nicholas Hoult.
I like Nicholas Hoult. The way I was thinking about it is honestly, until Daniel Craig, Q was an old guy.
No, I know that. I guess maybe I have a problem with like he's Benji from Mission Impossible for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Sure,
I can't get
Benji
past
out
that
of your head,
into the and he screwed up the tech stuff too many times in Mission Impossible for me to be like he's going to be a good.
Yeah, no, he
Gotcha.
can manage the tech. No, he screwed it up.
See, I was channeling my Scotty from Star Trek reboot vibes when I cast Simon Pegg as.
Yeah, and I was going Hank McCoy.
Yeah, no, it is. I agree. Q for Nicholas Hoult, so that goes to Mr. Burns. All right, where does that take us to? Oh, Moneypenny. All right, so again, the Ron pick. I have Haley Atwell. Peggy Carter, for those of you who...
No, I know who
Just
Haley.
give-
Okay.
What?
Peggy Carter?
No.
That's what I said.
Nope.
It's the Ron pick. What's the right pick, Mr. Burns?
Karen Gillan.
It was on my list. No way. Is it Brian's pick too?
I honestly, I was thinking about Karen Gillan. I went with Juno Temple instead. Juno Temple, for those of you who don't know, is Keely from Ted Lasso.
Yeah, same age as Karen Gillan. I'd be fine. I flip a coin.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
Flip
go.
a coin.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Karen Gillian.
Of course you are. I feel like Juno Temple can do the back and forth in a charming yet funny way.
Yeah, she does.
I view Karen Gillan more as a lead 00 herself. I don't want to put Karen Gillan behind a desk.
I don't know. Did you see the Strawberry Milkshake or whatever that movie was? Did you see that?
Gunpowder Milkshake. I wanted to.
Yeah, she can't carry.
It.
No, she can't carry it. She doesn't carry it off.
Really? Because she's great in fucking Guardians of the Galaxy and Jumanji.
But she's not a lead in either one, right?
True.
So here's why I went with, and Juno Temple's a really solid pick,
Yeah.
and I'd be fine with either one. I went with Karen Gillan because I see her as the girl next door, concerned best friend / sister type. Although there's always this, there is a tension there for sure. But she plays into my overarching theme, so I had to go with her.
Okay.
All right. Which
Well, I'm fine either way. Flip a coin. CJ.
I did it. It was on Karen Gillian.
Okay.
I don't think he flipped a coin at all.
Wheel of names, my friend. I got my wheel of names up at every time.
You put 2 names on your wheel of names?
That's the same as flipping a coin. The exact same as flipping a coin.
It is the same.
I get it. I get it. I get the odds are the same, but it just seems like a waste of a wheel.
All right, which takes us to Felix, the CIA counterpart. Again, the Ron pick. I have Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I'm very on the fence about that.
He can be whatever he wants to be. I saw him in Atlanta. I saw him in, Sorry to Bother You. It's a great.
No, he's
actor.
great. He's great.
He was in what was he about? Well,
I think he's going to be too busy in Knives Out 2, 3, 4. And
That
18.
was it. Thank you, Brian. You reminded me. I went, what's the connection to James Bond? I went, Daniel Craig. What other Daniel Craig movies? Knives Out. He was a detective in Knives Out. I was like, okay.
If that's how you're doing your casting, you're doing it wrong.
Hence why this is.
You're playing 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon to cast your films.
Oh, then you are going to be sad about the love interest.
Oh, and Kevin Bacon was in Footloose with Elizabeth Shue, who was also in this with no.
So Kevin Bacon should not be my love interest. That's the next one.
No,
okay, sorry, it was
I don't
recurring.
think so.
My bad. All right, so let's get the right pick, Brian. Who is Felix?
I mean, I don't know if this is the right pick, but I definitely like this pick. I picked Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I picked Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Not only is he a great actor, but he's worked with Idris before.
Oh, hold on. Wait. You can't say don't do Degrees of Separation and then be like, but he's worked with Idris Elba before. You can't yell at me for the same thing.
When I finish my thought of their repartee back and forth in The Losers is great. So I would want a scene with Felix and Idris Elba and Tom Hardy all in the office debating some shit. I think that would be fun.
I don't think you get it though, right? I think that the Felix character has to be more of a peer to Bond than to. Right, I could see, like, if you were doing a Mathis, or a Mr. White, I could see Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I went John David Washington.
Oh, I don't know, I don't know. So let me ask you this part, right? So the role of Felix in your mind when you're casting it, are you looking for someone to hold their own against Bond? Are you looking for someone to be underperforming against Bond? Where does he fall?
Do
in
you
that relationship?
know? Okay, I need to ask. I was about to say I need to ask. Have you seen a Bond movie?
I have not paid attention.
Okay,
to Bond.
you know who Jeffrey Wright is?
Yes,
he was Felix Leiter.
Oh, okay.
Think about Casino Royale and the movies that followed.
Yep,
that's Felix.
Was he in all of the Craig films?
I'm gonna go Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Woo!
Yeah, he was. He was Felix.
Right,
he was Felix throughout.
I know he was Felix throughout. I just didn't know if Felix showed up in all of the Daniel Craig films.
If he may have only had a phone call in one of them, I think.
Yeah,
but
I was just curious. It's been a while since I've seen some of the earlier Craig films. All right, so I guess we're back to villain and love interest for the last two.
All right, my second villain was Toby Jones. Someone give me the right villain, please.
I have Charles Dance. Don't know who Charles Dance is, CJ.
Yeah,
he is,
of course.
The what's his first name?
He's Tyrion Lannister, or he's Tywin Lannister.
Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones. I have Charles Dance.
Yeah, Charles Dance is
he just oozes evil. Can you put him in a suit in front of a bunch of monitors? Shit.
He's sweet brother Numsy in the Golden Child. Charles Dance.
I love that movie.
I went the knife. No, I went a different direction because of my overall theme.
It's a younger
The second villain is Daniel Kaluuya.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. I like it. I like Charles.
What do I know him from?
Get Out.
Black Panther, okay, right.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to go with Josh on this one. I would love to see, because there was even people asking him to be Bond, but I think he plays a great, I think he'll play a great villain. So I'm giving that to Joshua Burns. All right, it takes us to Love Interest 2, which for me is repeating. After the death of Margot Robbie, Florence Pugh comes in because I say Florence Pugh. So she's in for the rest of the Bond series for me. Florence Pugh is the love interest.
I like Florence Pugh a lot. I think I'm on record as saying that, but I think if Tom Hardy's going to be my Bond, she might be a little young.
Yeah, that's been very prevalent in the Bond franchise. The age appropriateness between Bond and his love interest.
I chose Alicia Vikander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine stays Elizabeth Olsen for the second film. By the way, Elizabeth Olsen and Alicia Vikander are within, I think, 5 months of each other, 5-6 months. So I mean. If we're going with Brian's, cool. It screws up my theme, but whatever.
Let me see who this, because Brian's gonna change love interest again, right? He gets a new,
yes.
new
I have a third love interest.
So Josh, you have one. So let me hear this third love interest for you, Brian, and then I can kind of determine if it's worth changing out. Elizabeth
Well, just hear his and then go to your next thing.
There's nothing else after third villain. That's
we got third villain. Okay. So I have Emilia Clarke as my third love interest. Dany Targaryen herself.
Yeah.
Yep. CJ hates her.
I don't like this choice at all. No.
Why don't you hate? Why do you hate?
Because I knew it was going to be. It's so obvious. It's annoying. And I
it's not, because that was actually a late addition for me.
I mean, I did not like her that much in the Terminator movies. She's great as Daenerys Targaryen, but I haven't been impressed with anything else she's done post GOT.
I will submit to you that she has not been given the appropriate projects, and and Terminator Genesis, not her fault.
No, it's not. But at the same time, she picked it. Just like watching Matt Smith movies now.
She didn't pick it though. She didn't pick it. She is not at a stage where she can just pick and go, right? And quite frankly, CJ, if someone came up to you as an actor and said, "Hey, yo, we're doing a new Terminator film. You want in?" You say yes.
But then I read the script.
And then someone says to you and says, "Hey, you want to be Sarah Connor?" And you go, "Fuck yes, I want to be Sarah Connor."
Well, I would be like, "Are we gender bending Sarah Connor?" That's a little weird. I don't know if I would do that. All right. I'm going to reserve the judgment on the love interest for a minute. I need to marinate on this because I do not like your pick for love interest number 3. But I'm not sold on Elizabeth Olsen's entirely through all 3 movies. So,
well, she dies. She dies
in movie 2.
Dies in movie 2, and then we get no love interest for number 3. Then James is all alone for the third movie.
Yeah, he's a
sad and broken man.
He's a man apart. He's a broken man.
Okay.
Final villain. Oh, I have Andrew Scott, the incomparable Andrew Scott.
But he was already a Bond villain.
Was he? Damn it. See, I don't watch Bond movies. That's my problem. Okay.
Clearly.
I told you this. That's why I'm judging, not casting.
I am not playing to my judge. I had this well before we started this.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just love to see Matt Smith play a good villain in a good movie. So I'm putting him as my third villain.
Okay. My third villain is Elizabeth Olsen.
Aha.
I knew you were going to do this. I figured this was the path that you were going to do. Hence why I was reserving the right to choose the love interest based on the fact that it would be a twist.
I think she'd be an amazing villain. And I think that she
was in Multiverse of Madness.
And you got Riz Ahmed and Daniel Kaluuya as her pawns. I just love the way it plays out in my head.
Do like this. Now I have to.
Oh, and Tom Hardy is so betrayed. He doesn't even know what to do with himself.
So you're doing Casino Royale again?
No, because
you're going to build over a 3-movie franchise.
Vesper.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're doing Spectre again. No, you're doing Skyfall again.
No.
I mean...
Oh, you mean established Bond tropes? Is that what you're saying, Brian? He's doing established Bond tropes?
I'm not... Listen, I haven't written the entire arc out. I love the idea. I'm just not
This
not
one
convinced.
hasn't... I don't think it's been done. I don't think his love interest was ultimately the villain pulling all the strings, right? Christoph Waltz was like, his adopted brother or whatever, right? Who died or something. I don't even, completely understand the story. But I thought about who has the ability. Like, she just seems like she's, I don't know, she's great at nefarious. You know what I mean? And she's also great at the being a sweetheart. So gimme. And Karen Gillan never trusted her.
Brian's painting a picture. Josh is painting a picture there, Brian. You got anything to save yourself on your path here?
No, because I didn't write the script. I just was asked to cast it.
I did write it. Aaron Paul's been trying to get in. I keep telling him to fuck off.
He's got to do Ghost Rider. He can't jump onto a Bond
I told him
franchise.
don't take they're gonna call any day.
Any day they're gonna do this. Okay, so let's roll this back for just a moment. Kind of recap, kind of where we're at, and then we can do some final points. So first off, we both agree. You all agree on a James Bond of Tom Hardy, right? So a watch there for Bond. All right, M. This also again a tie. You both did Idris Elba, so same C's there. Q went to Josh with Nicholas Hoult. Moneypenny went to Josh with Karen Gillan. Felix to Brian with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. The first villain went to Brian. Villain number 2. No, the first villain was Josh. I'm sorry, Riz Ahmed. Villain number 2 went to Brian at that point.
Also no.
No, villain.
No, you totally just chose Josh for everything except for
Daniel wasn't Daniel
Kaluuya. That was me.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies. I thought it was Brian.
Josh wins this round. Yay!
Josh does win this round. I'm going to give love interest 1 to Brian because again that was a solid pick. But then, yes, I will give your love interest of Elizabeth Olsen and villain 3 for Elizabeth Olsen. I like your arc on this one. But you're only getting points for 1 love interest. You don't get the extra points since she's playing.
No,
multiple.
obviously. Yeah, no, I get it. I took the gamble.
So let me make the points adjustments here.
You're holding for pizza.
I'm
You're wasting your life.
Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. All right. So, as I gave Josh points for being a good sport and taking on the chin, Brian, I will be awarding you 20 points for taking your shellacking on the Bond casting. It didn't work out your way, but it worked out. But each Bond cast got you 5 points, which means that Joshua is this week's winner with 62 points to Brian's 59, and Joshua finally getting a lead. It's been a while.
Sweet.
So you just gave me 20 points, so it wasn't a complete trouncing. Is that what I'm hearing?
Again,
that's...
You didn't want this to be like...
I didn't want this to be a complete blowout, because here's the deal, Brian. You did do a good job with your casting, right? Those are good things that I liked.
It's not good enough. I see how it is.
And I'm an idiot for Bond, right? As we've just well established during all of this.
Are.
So
your
a margin
homework is to go watch some.
A margin
films.
of error is clearly needed to go for my terrible casting choices at some point down the road. So, and you thought just like Josh too. So those points washed out.
I'll take pity points all day.
Absolutely.
But I still
You should actually
lost.
just make this 6 movies, and mine can be the final 3.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
well, I mean, look,
Daniel Craig did
there
5.
you go.
Why not?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we've got the bedrock there. We're good. But Tom Hardy and Idris Elba, and then
this is where we need to have a super fan like come on the show and judge a cast this, because I'm clearly not well equipped for all of this. We know this to educate me on who should be cast as who. So maybe that's something we'll do in the future. But that is it. I will forego my topic for this week for the sake of time, because this is way better than what I could have done. So I can save mine for a later date. So Josh, you So Josh, you have won this week's
I was gonna say he
show.
won like 2 weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah,
I know.
Like,
but he lost the other weekend.
you're like, pretty finally, Josh! After 8 weeks of just being in the dumps,
just
Brian smacking you all over the place.
Every
you
week I
finally
lose.
won.
So congratulations, Josh, for winning this week's episode, and you will be the host for next week. So thank you, listener nerd, for listening to this episode. I would love to hear your Bond casting as well. So cast this is always a fan favorite topic. I would love to see what you would do with this cast. So check out the show notes, put it in the comment on thatkindofnerd.com. Tell us what you would cast as James Bond's movie. So you get 3 movies. Cast them out. Thank you so much for listening to us as we are doing a walk around your neighborhood, your drive to work, cleaning the house, whatever it is we are in your life. And we will see you on the next episode.
Well, welcome to the club, because you are that kind of nerd.
So the MCU is going through changes, and it's going to grow weird franchises in weird places, and you just need to adjust and know that it's perfectly normal.
Some of the quality may drop down a little bit, but you know what? It'll get right back there.
Right? You could be a mutant for all we know. It's okay. Just accept it. All right, Josh, you're up.